What's up, people? It's your man, Harkon Ajala, a.k.a. the Bad Boy Genius, at your service as always with another 100% bullshit-free movie review. Today, let's talk about the long-awaited, much-anticipated new film from Christopher Nolan, Tenet. I waited a long time to see this, and I'm just going to get right down to it. Honestly, I had every expectation. Tenet is the type of film that I should love. It's a very cerebral film. It is a puzzle, which I love puzzles, especially in movies. It's kind of a mystery. I love mystery films. Great action. Has some great actors in it and fantastic acting, written and directed by a very smart, very effective director. So it's the kind of movie that I should love. Most Christopher Nolan films I have loved, all the way back to Memento. Most, not all. And so I had every intention and expectation that I was going to love Tenet. But I have to tell you, the idea is that this was going to be a blockbuster. I'm going to go on a limb and say, I don't think it's going to be a blockbuster like it was predicted. And if it is, it might just be because people are ready to see movies again. But I can tell you, I don't think this is the kind of movie people were ready to see. I was expecting and hoping for another experience very much like Inception, an experience that reminded me of the first time I saw The Matrix. It operates and is satisfying on multiple levels. So, a visceral thrill from just the action elements, also a mental thrill from the ideas and thought-provoking concepts that are being dealt with and bandied about in the film. And I gotta say, as much as I really kind of hate to say it, and I'm almost surprised to say it, I don't think it came off. It's like the film, it's really frustrating because there's pieces there. There's so many pieces there that should add up to a great film and a great movie experience, but the fucking thing just doesn't land. And I think it's for a couple of specific reasons, like a couple of missteps that I think Chris just couldn't get right, that really kind of drags the movie down. The idea is a great idea. The casting is fantastic. One thing I can say about this film is it's clear after watching this movie, if you weren't clear on it before, it's clear that John David Washington has what it takes to be a movie star. Not just a great actor or a very good actor, but a true movie star. The two things aren't quite the same, and you rarely get them in the same package. His dad, Denzel Washington, is one of the rare cases where you get an unbelievably elite level actor who also has that it factor that makes them a movie star. John David is not as good an actor, not yet, but he does have that it factor, and he is a very good actor. He can carry a movie, and he carries this movie with no problem. I wish the movie had given him more to work with in terms of his character. His character is actually kind of a cipher. Like, I don't know what the motivations are of the character he's playing, but that's getting off into something else. The simple fact of the matter with Tenet, and I'm not even going to get into the plot points, because to be honest with you, even if I did, I don't think it would really do you much good. But you've already kind of peeped by now that it has something to do with time travel or the manipulation of time. Look, here's the truth. The fucking thing is just too fucking confusing. And it's not so much the ideas or the concepts or the central idea that's presented in the movie, but the way that the movie is executed. If you're relatively smart, you can catch on to what they're getting at, but the way it's executed, like, you just don't know what the fuck is going on most of the time. And here's the problem. You know, it's okay for an audience to not know exactly what's going on all the time. But we do need to have a general idea of what is happening and why. We may not know all the details. There may be mysteries, but I'm telling you, this film, the way that it's presented, there's just too much of the time that you don't have the slightest fucking idea what's going on because you haven't been giving the information to know what's going on. And if you have, and this is one of the things that really fucking annoyed me. Okay, a film like this, think about Inception. A film like this turns on what they call expository dialogue, or in other words, dialogue that's telling you what's happening. Like, you need this information to know what's going on. Well, a lot of the times that dialogue is happening, the fucking soundtrack for some reason is mixed so loud. The ambient sounds, the soundtrack, the music itself, which is kind of grating, is so fucking loud that it drowns out the voices of the people, the characters. You got motherfuckers whispering important shit. You can't hear it. So you don't know what's happening and why. Now, by no means do I want to say, and I don't want to mislead you, because I'm not saying nothing works in the movie. Let me tell you, there are some outstanding scenes and sequences in the film, especially visually. There's some fantastic action scenes. There's a car chase scene that's unbelievable. You know, it's not on the level of some of the stuff that we saw in Inception, but I mean, it's not like I'm upset that I went to see the film. It wasn't a wasted 2 hours. And I doubt that you'll feel that way either. If anything, it's more frustrating because you can see how this could have been a great movie. And again, it just missed the mark. He just didn't nail it. Just couldn't pull it together. It has the parts to be a great film. They just don't all come together. And I mean, I could sense it in the theater that I was sitting in the early access screening. It's a very convoluted plot. So it's already a challenge to follow it. But the fact that there's so many parts, crucial parts, where you literally cannot understand what the characters are saying, and they're saying important shit. You can tell that. It's literally makes you want to pull your hair out. It's kind of like if somebody gave you a 20,000 piece puzzle, but they took 15 pieces out. You know, it'll take you forever trying to put it together, and you don't know which 15 pieces are missing. It's really brutal, and you know, from what I hear, Chris Nolan does that on purpose. You know, it's some kind of expression of his artistic expression. I mean, that's all fine and good, but here's the thing, Chris. It doesn't make for a satisfying viewing experience for the audience, bro. And here's the thing. I'm all for movies that need repeat viewings in order to get the full richness of the film, the full experience of the film. I love that. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong. As a matter of fact, it's a great thing when a movie needs you to watch it 2 or 3 times to really take everything in and really get the full experience. But god damn it, I should be able to get at least a satisfying experience the first time I go in there, because you got to remember, people are paying their fucking money. If I'm going to pay money to go into a movie theater, you know, for $20, I want the first time that I see the film, I at least want it to be satisfying. Even if I'm saying, man, you know, I couldn't catch every piece of it, but I got enough to enjoy the hell out of it. Like in Inception, you might not have got everything, but at the end of Inception, you had enough information all the way through that you could truly enjoy the film and then look forward to, man, I gotta watch that again. That's what you want people saying. What you don't want people saying is, man, that was so fucking confusing, I don't even want to see it again. And I'm telling you, particularly in the third act, look, you'll see it when you see the film, the last battle between the two different groups of soldiers. I mean, it's so convoluted. There's no way you can keep up. You don't know what the fuck is happening. You can't, understand what anybody's saying. You can't tell who's who. I mean, there's these little pieces in there that give you an inkling of kind of like you have an idea of what's happening, but not really enough for you to have any real stake in what happens to the characters. Like, you can't really feel invested because you don't have enough fucking information to really know what you should be worried about. Which means that the ending, which I'm sure after I've seen the movie 2 or 3 times, maybe the second time when I'm able to stop it, pause it at times and think through it, or put on the fucking, in this film, I'll probably have to put the fucking subtitles on so I can hear what people are saying. Then the ending will probably have the punch that I can tell Chris intended it to. But it's kind of like a joke. If you only hear the fucking punchline, but the setup to the joke is garbled and you couldn't understand what they were saying, the punchline doesn't punch. You're not going to laugh at it. You can't, because you didn't hear the setup. You feel me? So, again, because of that, this movie gave me a really weird experience. I went in wanting to love it, expecting to love it, and certainly expecting to like it. As I sat there watching it, there's a lot on screen to like. Like I said, great performances by all the actors involved, particularly Kenneth Branagh, who gives an incredibly chilling performance as the main villain. There's plenty on screen to watch that's visually exciting. There's some incredible action set pieces. John David Washington is a star, no doubt about that. And also, I have to say, Ed the Teenage Vampire from Twilight, this is one of the most enjoyable, effective performances I've seen from him. He's really good in this movie. He's really in a lot of ways, he's the only character that's really kind of lively and brings a little humor. But I really enjoyed him here. He's really good. A lot to like, but just so frustrating because it just doesn't come together. And it ends up being really a kind of downer experience, which nobody wants going to the movies, especially in the middle of a fucking pandemic. So, you can't win them all, Chris. You can't hit a home run every time. I got to give this one I'll give it 3 out of 5. It's still a good film. It's worth seeing. Just temper your expectations, because it's not the epic kick-ass movie experience you were expecting, trust me. So, that should give you enough to be able to make an informed decision on whether you want to go and see Tenet at the movies. This is Arkan Ajala. I'll see you in the next 100% bullshit-free movie review. Peace.